Have you ever thought about what it would take to design a perfect world? I don't mean just a slightly better one. I mean a world with zero suffering. Absolutely none. Well, we're about to dive into a story that does exactly that. It lays out the blueprint for how an ultimate paradise was dreamed up and brought into existence. And it all starts with a simple question. So the story kicks off in our world with the historical Buddha sitting with his disciples. But on this particular day, something's different. His closest disciple, Ananda, notices that the Buddha isn't just looking serene. He is literally glowing with a kind of joy and majesty nobody had ever seen before. It's so intense, so out of the ordinary, that it sparks the question that gets this whole cosmic story rolling. And here's what Ananda actually said. He's basically looking at his teacher and asking, "What are you thinking about right now that is making you shine like that?" This isn't just small talk. It's the key that unlocks a story that stretches back across, well, almost forever. That glow is the first clue that the Buddha is thinking about something truly magnificent. So the Buddha explains why he's glowing. He says he's thinking about the origin story of another Buddha. And with that, he pulls us back in time, way, way back, to the tale of a king who heard a powerful teaching and came up with the most ambitious dream you can possibly imagine. Okay, so picture this. You have a king who hears a Buddha from his time, a Buddha named Lokeshwara Raja, give a teaching. And this king is so moved that he makes a radical choice. He gives up everything, his crown, his power, his palace, all of it, to become a humble monk. He takes the name Dharmakara, which means treasury of the Dharma, and starts a spiritual quest. But here's the thing, it wasn't just for him. This right here is his core motivation. It's all about universal compassion. He doesn't just want to find his own way out of suffering. He wants to build a perfect refuge, a special kind of paradise where every single being can be free. His own enlightenment is now completely tied to the salvation of everyone else. With this incredible goal set, Dharmakara gets to work. You could say he starts the most ambitious design project in the history of the cosmos. He needs a blueprint, right? A master plan for his perfect world. And the scale of what he does next is it's staggering. First, he studies 21 times billion other Buddha lands, basically taking notes on what works and what doesn't. Then he spends 5 eons, that's a length of time our minds can't even really grasp, meditating on everything he's learned. And finally, he comes out of this deep contemplation with a solid plan, a list of 48 specific vows. 48 promises, and each one is like a non-negotiable feature for his future paradise. He's basically saying, if I can't create a world where this specific thing is true, then I won't become a Buddha. Each vow is a foundational pillar for the world he's about to build. This is such a great way to understand how these vows work. They're solutions to specific problems. You see a problem, like beings being reborn in hell? Vow 1, gone. My land won't have any of those. Problem, people get sick, they feel ugly? Vow 3, not anymore. Everyone there will have a body of pure, shining gold. Problem, we forget the lessons from our past lives? Vow 5, solved. Everyone will remember their pasts. He is systematically engineering suffering right out of existence. Now, of all 48 vows, this one, the 18th, is really considered the heart of the whole thing. It's the ultimate access pass. It says that the only thing you need to be born into his perfect world is to sincerely trust him, want to be there, and call his name, even just 10 times. This makes his paradise available to absolutely everyone, no matter who they are or what they've done. It's a promise of pure grace. So, after laying out these 48 vows, Dharmakara spends countless more eons doing good deeds and piling up merit to make it all happen. And the story tells us he did it. He fulfilled every single promise and became a perfect Buddha. His dream world is now real. It exists, a place we call the Pure Land. The monk Dharmakara is now the Buddha Amitābha, and his amazing world is called Sukhavati. That translates to the land of ultimate bliss. And it's said to exist way, way out to the west of our world, a whole realm built entirely out of compassion. So what's it like there? Well, it's a world of effortless perfection. The ground is literally made of jewels. The land is perfectly flat, no tricky mountains or valleys. The weather is always perfect. The wind blows through jeweled trees and creates beautiful music and teachings. Anything you could ever want, food, clothes, it just appears when you think of it. And maybe most importantly, there is no evil, no suffering, They don't even have words for negative things there. The Buddha in charge of this land, Amitābha, has a name that means immeasurable light. And it's said his light fills every corner of the universe, bringing comfort and peace to anyone who sees it. This isn't just physical light, it's the light of wisdom and compassion that gets rid of all the darkness of ignorance. Amitābha also has another name, Amitayus, which means immeasurable life. This is huge. It means that his lifespan and the lifespan of every single person born into his Pure Land is practically infinite. The fear of death, of your time running out, it's just not a thing in Sukhavati. Okay, this all sounds absolutely incredible, right? But what does it have to do with us, here and now? Well, the final part of the sutra connects all the dots. It spells out the promise at the very heart of Dharmakara's vows, how anyone can be reborn in this land of ultimate bliss. The sutra lays out 3 different levels of practice, which is brilliant because it makes the path accessible to everybody. The top tier is for monks and nuns, people who can dedicate their whole lives to the practice. The middle tier is for regular folks who can do good deeds. But then there's this third tier, and this is crucial. It's for anyone at all who can't do a lot of good deeds, but who can, with a sincere heart, just wish to be there and call on Amitābha's name. It all comes back to that amazing 18th vow. And for anyone who holds that sincere wish, the text promises something truly beautiful at the end of their life. At the moment of death, you're not alone. Amitābha himself, along with a whole host of enlightened beings, shows up right in front of you to personally welcome you and guide you to your new home. Now, it's really important to get this next part. The Pure Land isn't some kind of final reward, like a heaven where you just relax forever. Think of it more like the ultimate spiritual training ground. Because all suffering and distractions have been removed, it's a spiritual accelerator. Once you're there, surrounded by goodness and wisdom, your own path to becoming a fully awakened Buddha is guaranteed. So, when you trace it all back, this incredible, perfect world, Sukhavati, exists for one reason and one reason only. It is the physical manifestation of one being's unimaginable compassion and the fulfillment of 48 unbreakable promises he made eons ago. It is, quite literally, a paradise born from a promise. And that brings us to a final thought to leave you with. The story of Dharmakara is this epic tale of creation driven purely by the desire to end suffering. So it kind of makes you wonder, right? If you had that power, if you were the architect of a new reality, what problem would you solve first? What would be your foundational vow?